Level 1, Atlantis. Plato wrote about Atlantis around 360 BCE in two dialogues called Timaeus and Critias. The story describes a powerful island civilization that existed 9,000 years before his time. Atlantis tried to conquer Athens but failed. Then violent earthquakes and floods hit, and in a single day and night the entire island sank into the sea. Now, the thing is that Plato invented this story. Modern scholars agree there was no record of Atlantis before these texts. He created it as a plot device to illustrate what happens when a nation falls into hubris. The island supposedly had concentric rings, exotic animals, and was ruled by descendants of Poseidon. Hey, we'll soon reach 1,000 subscribers. As soon as we reach them, I will do a giveaway and raffle off a gift card. So, real quick, subscribe to the channel and enable that bell button to catch up with us because we wouldn't want you to miss it. Level 2, El Dorado. Spanish conquistadors tearing through 16th century South America weren't looking for a city at first. They were chasing a man. The legend started with stories about a king called the Gilded One, who covered his body in gold dust and threw jewels into a lake during his coronation ceremony. The ceremony was real. The Muisca people of Colombia performed rituals at Lake Guatavita, where a new chief would be covered in gold dust, sailed to the center of the lake on a raft, and dive in while his followers threw gold and emeralds into the water as offerings to their gods. Spanish explorers heard these stories, and their minds went straight to treasure. Over time, the legend grew from a golden man into tales of an entire city of gold. Expeditions failed one after another. Gonzalo Jimenez de Quesada reached Lake Guatavita in 1537 and tried draining it with a bucket. He recovered about 3,000 pesos worth of gold. The British tried in 1898 using modern technology. They drained the lake down to a 4-foot-deep mud pond that dried hard as cement. They recovered about 500 pounds worth of gold before giving up. The Muisca raft, a golden artifact discovered in 1969 showing a chief on a raft surrounded by attendants, sits in Bogota's Gold Museum today. The Golden Man was real. The City of Gold never was. If these levels made you wonder or dream, then probably you won't believe what awaits you at level 7, so stay tuned until the end. Level 3, Shambhala. Shambhala is a Sanskrit word meaning place of peace. This mythical kingdom predates Tibetan Buddhism and first appeared in ancient Zhangjung scriptures in western Tibet. According to legend, it's a hidden paradise where only the purest souls can live in a land filled with wisdom and love. There's no aging, no suffering, no winter. Also called Shangri-La or the Forbidden Land, this place is gone by many names. Buddhist tradition says it's ruled by a future Buddha named Maitreya. And when the world descends into world and chaos, the kings of Shambhala will ride out to defeat dark forces and usher in a new golden age. The 1933 novel Lost Horizon popularized the name Shangri-La, describing it as an isolated paradise in the Himalayas where people lived for hundreds of years. The Nazis got interested too. The Thiel Society, a post-World War I occult organization, believed hidden kingdoms in the East held ancient Aryan secrets. They sent expeditions to Tibet in the 1930s looking for mystical knowledge and superior races. They found mountains and monasteries. No paradise of eternal youth. Level 4, Avalon. The Isle of Avalon first showed up in Geoffrey of Monmouth's Historia Regum Britanniae in 1136. According to Arthurian legend, the island was ruled by the enchantress Morgan Le Fay, who nursed King Arthur back to health after battle. This was where the great sword Excalibur was forged, and where Arthur was laid to rest on a bed of gold. For centuries, people believed Glastonbury in England was the location. The town's neo-pagan culture and Arthurian legends made it a perfect candidate. In 1191, monks at Glastonbury Abbey claimed they found the graves of King Arthur and Queen Guinevere. They dug up 2 bodies and a lead cross that supposedly read, "Here lies buried the renowned King Arthur in the Isle of Avalon." Historians now think this was a publicity stunt to attract pilgrims and donations after a fire destroyed parts of the abbey. Whether Avalon existed as a real place or purely as myth, it became a symbol of a lost paradise, where heroes rest and magic still lives. The idea that somewhere out there, beyond the mist, lies an island untouched by time keeps the legend alive. Level 5, Lemuria. Long before Atlantis became famous, stories were told about Lemuria, a lost continent that supposedly existed in the Indian Ocean. The myth has multiple origins, including occult writings and scientific theories from the 1800s. The scientific version came first. In the 1860s, zoologist Philip Sclater noticed lemurs lived in Madagascar and India, but not in Africa or the Middle East between them. He proposed that a sunken continent called Lemuria once connected these areas, allowing lemurs to spread. Later discoveries about continental drift and plate tectonics explain the distribution without needing a lost continent. But the occultists loved it. Madame Blavatsky, who co-founded the Theosophical Society in 1875, wrote extensively about Lemuria in The Secret Doctrine. She claimed it was home to a third root of human race called Lemurians, who had 4 arms and a psychic third eye in the back of their heads. They communicated through telepathy and possessed advanced spiritual powers. The legend became a favorite among New Age believers and conspiracy theorists, while scientists abandoned the idea once they understood plate tectonics. The mystical version of Lemuria still lives on in occult circles. Level 6. Thule. Thule dates back to the 4th century BCE when Greek explorer Pytheas claimed he traveled to an icy island 6 days north of Britain. He described a place near the frozen ocean where the sun barely set in summer. Most of his fellow explorers doubted him. The location was probably Norway or Iceland. For centuries, Thule represented the furthest edge of the known world. The term Ultima Thule meant the most distant point possible. Things got dark in the 20th century. After World War I, a group of Germany formed the Thule Society, an occult organization obsessed with Aryan mysticism. They believed Thule was the ancestral homeland of a superior race and became linked to early Nazi ideology. The society claimed that survivors from this ancient northern civilization possessed secret knowledge. They mixed Norse mythology, occultism, and racist theories into pseudo-history. Pytheas probably just sailed to Norway. What happened after shows how geographic confusion can be twisted into something dangerous. Level 7. Yes. Yes is a legendary sunken city said to have existed off the coast of Brittany in France, often placed in the Bay of Douarnenez. According to myth, King Gradlin the Great built Yes on land reclaimed from the sea. The city became incredibly wealthy and artistic, with a king's palace made of marble and gold. A massive dike protected the city from the ocean, with a gate that only King Gradlon could unlock. His daughter Dahat stole the key to let her lover into the city. When she opened the gate, the sea rushed in and swallowed the kingdom whole. Gradlin escaped on horseback with the help of Saint Guenole, but his daughter was lost to the waves. Breton folklore says the ruins of Yes can still be seen at low tide when the water is calm. Fishermen claim they hear church bells ringing beneath the sea. An old Breton saying goes, when Paris is swallowed, Yes will rise again, suggesting the sunken city waits below for its moment to return. The legend probably reflects the very real threat of flooding that Brittany faces from Atlantic storms. Medieval chroniclers wrote about coastal villages disappearing under storm surges. The story of Yes became a cautionary tale about hubris, disobedience, and the power of the sea. Some think the legend preserves memories of actual settlements that were flooded when sea levels rose. Archaeological surveys have found evidence of submerged forests and human activity off the Brittany coast from thousands of years ago. Whether Yes existed or not, the legend captures something real about how the ocean has slowly claimed coastal lands over millennia. So, there you have it, 7 levels of mythical lands. If you enjoyed this journey through legendary places, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more myths, mysteries, and histories that blur the line between fact and fiction. I'll see you in the next one.